Hello everyone, my name is Lynn and I am making a video today about my experience dating single dads. And so about myself, I'm 41. I have been married before but no kids. And of course, being in my age group, I'm going to encounter single men that are dads. And so I just want to make a video about my experience with dating, and it could be useful, it could not be useful. Overall, it's just something that I wanted to share, I guess. So the first case is I'm gonna call him Bob. So Bob he's in his later 40s, but he had a kid late in his life. So even though he's like in his late 40s, his daughter is only about I want to say she was 2. She's relatively a baby toddler. And in my mind, this group, my experience has been, this type of group is actually a red flag, because first of all, from my experience, he and his wife, they had some, or ex-wife I should say, they had some kind of some major falling out. And when I started dating him, of course I didn't know all this, but when I started dating him, I wasn't, he didn't really talk about her or anything. I just Googled his name, and his whole protective order came out. And it's because his ex-wife, she filed a protective order against him. So he is not allowed to see his daughter at all. And he's not even allowed to go to his home. And I found all of this online. And so she's claiming that he is, violent, that things like this. Now, I don't know the case. I do know that in my dating of this guy, he was never angry or aggressive or violent towards me. And so that's why I had dated him for several months. But I became kind of entangled. I guess I got kind of into all the drama of it all, and was kind of following it online and everything, because a lot of that was all made public info. And of course, I can't, I'm not the type of person that I'm just gonna read something and immediately believe all it says. But all in all, there's gotta be a red flag, because if you want a baby, if you and your partner want to have a kid, and in my experience, a lot of parents, they say when newborns and babies and toddlers, it's the best age, because they're so adorable at that age, and they need, they're so, at that age, they're, so cute and adorable that, why you both want to have a baby, what is causing you to not stay together, so this is kind of immediately a red flag in my experience of seeing this unfold. And because this guy I was dating, he's very devastated by not being able to see his daughter. He's going through a lot of courts battles, talking to lawyers to try to get to custody of his daughter again. And so this is just kind of something that, why is this, if two people want to have kids, why are they having a divorce? Why are they separated when their kid is so young? And that's kind of usually the age that, that they're like the cutest, So that's been my experience with like kind of baby toddlers. Now, case number 2, this guy, I will call him Sam. I liked him a lot. I found him very, very attractive. I found him very interesting. And he is in his younger 40s. He's actually the same age. Him and I are the same age. But his daughter is more like a teen/adult. So when I was dating him, she was 17 going on 18. So kind of the age where you would think that, okay, like she's kind of growing up, she's gonna kind of maybe, go off on her own, maybe to school or whatever. But actually, things have changed now in 2026, that at that age, they're kind of not really able to go out on their own anymore. So my experience is that at this stage, he wants to, be a good dad and support her through school, and like so she was gonna, they were gonna live together, and he was gonna support her for school and everything, which absolutely, all respect, and that's very noble of him to want to, take care of his daughter and see her off and to make sure she goes to school and everything, and want to support her in that way. But in terms of like, like being into like something, like dating someone like that, it's very difficult, because you kind of feel like you will never be the priority, no matter how much you're willing to give. And I definitely liked him a lot, and I was definitely willing to give up a lot of myself to be in a relationship with him. But all in all, I think that it's hard, because they're so close, and then he's supporting her. So it's kind of like, well, no matter how much I give, I won't ever be considered the priority in his life. So that ended up kind of turning out, I wish I hadn't like gotten too attached to him. I kind of wish I had been more cautious in wanting to I wish I'd been more cautious, and kind of not I kind of wish, I kind of regretted actually getting that attached and emotionally attached to him. And he was a very attractive guy. We only had a couple of dates, but we would talk a lot, and I just regret it all, as he showed to me that he's not gonna make me a priority. And now case number 3 is a man. I'll call him Chad, and he is in his, I want to say he was 50. He is like 50 or 49, something like that. And his 2 daughters, they are adults. They are grown up. They were out of the house. They're in their own. They went to college and had their own careers and everything. So the thing about this type of dad is that even though his kids are all grown, and even though we vibe, and there's a lot of that he can offer in a relationship, but he is just so big-headed and so arrogant. Like, maybe it's because he's basking in this so-called success of like, oh, he put, 2 girls through his college or whatever, which is an accomplishment. Don't get me wrong, it is an accomplishment. But he is just so arrogant because he just thinks that he's right. And we had disagreements about religion, about our beliefs. And I know what I believe is right, and whatever, like, I know my beliefs are right, but he's always like, demanding that he's right and I'm wrong, and he's trying to change my beliefs. And he's just so, oh my gosh, just so arrogant about it. And I'm just like, dude, like, if you have different beliefs and I have different beliefs, just respect my beliefs are different than yours. Don't try to change my beliefs and make it seem like you're right and I'm wrong. And then we can get along. Everything else other than religion, we get along. Like, everything else we can talk about and make fun of, certain things in society, because he has a sense of humor, which I like. And but the arrogance is just too much. It is just too much. I mean, if you think, and I mean, yeah, it is an accomplishment to get your kids through college and whatever, but it doesn't mean that you're right about everything. It doesn't mean other people are wrong. And and at the end of the day, everyone is entitled to their own beliefs. Everyone's entitled to share their beliefs with others. But at the end of the day, it's up for you to choose what you believe in. And so, so, like, at the end of the day, like, out of my experience so far, I'm gonna have to say that the single men who have no kids are gonna be at an advantage than those who are dads. And that's just gonna be my experience.